Hey everyone, this is Austin, and welcome back to another Arifureta review. And what an episode! Just to say the least. What an episode! I'm gonna say my obviously little cherry picks at the end, but overall, I mean, it wasn't bad as I thought it was gonna be because I was actually going on Twitter to see what the Japanese said, and a lot of them were complaining about a lot of things, and I kind of see what they were complaining about, but I'll touch upon that at the end. But so in the beginning of this episode, we see basically Hajime is asleep outside on a bed, and we see Yu is snugged up, all snuggled up next to Hajime, and Hajime, electrocuted Yu so she would get off of him, and that sound effect just oof, that's all I got to say. And we see you kind of tell Hajime what happened after the whole entire fight with the Hydra, and I do not want to talk about the Hydra, that PS2 graphic Hydra, but we see you actually is the one that saved his life, and kind of now they are equal in a sense of, he saved her life, she saves his life. It's kind of that kind of companionship, and we see that Yu has cleaned Hajime's body, if you know what I mean. Hajime is a man now. Just want to let you know that. But I was really surprised, we didn't have a CGI scene of that one, but, hey, we can't, I don't want to see that. I'm sorry for that joke, guys. But, anyways, they found nothing but clothing. Well, you found nothing but clothing at the Maverick's place so far, and they're kind of now looking through the Maverick's mansion and kind of trying to find stuff and information, and we see that you can't find clothing that fits her, and I just want to say she's so adorable. She really is, and yeah, I really like that they have this already here, and obviously we kind of start to see the poster characters that were on the posters in this episode, and a lot of references to the famous paintings in this anime. I know a lot of you won't notice this. Go through some art history. It's actually quite intriguing that they had I think in not the last episode, but the episode before, they actually had a famous painting too in that one. And I like art. I'm gonna be honest with you, and this was a nice little touch to the anime, and I feel like they could have wasted their money somewhere else. Maybe the action scenes, but that's just my opinion. I'm not supposed to give my opinion, so. We see that they head to the Maverick's house to find information about what's going on and everything. Hajime, finds a bath, and you suggest, hey, why don't we take one together? And he goes, no, I'd rather take one by myself. And yeah, she gets denied, and I'm like, yeah, what did you expect? This man he wants to go home. That's all he wants. But the workshop and the library are sealed off, and they head up to kind of this third floor. After going through everything, realizing that hey, there's certain parts of this house that are sealed off, which is kind of common sense. If you are a maverick, you're hiding stuff from the gods, you're gonna have to seal stuff off. So your information or research that you learned that was used against them can't be used against your own force, your own team. So it kind of makes sense. I just wanted to explain on that. Some people wouldn't understand it, but they head to the third floor and they see the throne that the maverick sat on and his body, and the circle is gonna be quite important. Really quite important. And I know a lot of people are going to ask, how does he get out of here? It's kind of like a Zelda. If you ever played Zelda and you finish a dungeon and you beat the boss, you kind of just teleport out of there. So I just want to put that there. But we see Hajime's transmute skill won't work on sealed rooms, which kind of makes sense because it's high level magic. This magic is ancient magic. Obviously, the Mavericks are wicked old. It kind of shows that hey, there's no new magic that can go through it so far. And a nice little touch there, but Hajime walks towards the Maverick and starts to get memories from his whole experience there, and we see the Maverick Oscar, his recording appears and greets Hajime, and we see that Oscar kind of has built this dungeon, and I just want to say, can we stop with the classmates? Can we really stop? And I'm going to expand on that later on at the end of this review. It drives me nuts that it's 4 minutes long and they're not important. This anime, I hate. Let's save that for the end. Actually, good. Oscar tells Hajime that he will give him his power and he wants him to kind of live with his own free will, and we kind of see the purpose of why the Mavericks are against the gods, because the gods, they're kind of holding down the humans, and we see Hajime sees that the Mavericks are just liberators. They are trying to free the humans from the gods that just keep using them as toys and kind of a board game for themselves, and that's kind of what's going on. I don't understand. Either I skipped through something, I feel, or it wasn't explained in. I'm gonna go with I skipped through something to be the benefit of the doubt because I had no care in the world about the classmates. But Hajime still wants to go home, we see, and Hajime learned a new kind of ancient magic, which is creation magic, that allows him to add energy to raw minerals and give them special qualities. And, Hajime starts to be all nice to, you, because he's all happy. Hey, you want to learn how to use this magic, and we see you actually learned it, but she can't do it as well as Hajime, and this kind of brings up that RPG or MMORPG thing that certain classes are going to be able to do certain things better than other classes because they're not meant to do certain things, and here's that case. But Hajime and you use Oscar's body to fertilize the area, and I quite got a nice little laugh out of that one. And we see after Hajime finds a way to the surface, but he needs Oscar's ring, which you told him, of course he had that before, they used his body. And Hajime, has to get these other rings to learn these other magics, kind of thing, all the other Mavericks, to have a fighting chance against the gods. And it's kind of cool, to say the least. It really reminds me of Zelda, to be quite honest, because you always got a piece of equipment that you would need to fight, Gandalf, and, it's a nice little reference. I like Zelda, if you haven't figured that out. But, we see now Hajime goes to the workshop and opens it up and sees that there's a lot of materials that he can use, and he realizes we have to kind of prepare for what's going to happen on the surface, and they need to get stronger so they can go through these labyrinths or dungeons. And it's quite cool because now we have a clear goal. We had a little bit of he wants to go home, kind of like Nafumi and Shield here. He just wants to go home. He doesn't want to deal with this stuff. He just wants to go home. And truth be told, I feel that'd be a lot of us. We have to be a hero? I don't want to be a hero, but anyways, we see Hajime is in the bath, and Yu shows up, and we see Hajime is kind of just embarrassed, and we see this little scene, it's a little sweet scene of Yu offering her entire body to her, Hajime, and she's just making advances, and I want to comment on the whole soundtrack for Yu. It's actually quite nice, and Yu offers, her body, yada yada. FBI will be knocking on my door after watching this episode. I'm going to be real with you, but all jokes aside, Yu doesn't, let go of him and holds him to his place. And we see Hajime's arm finally, and the Hummer, and obviously the eye patch and Yu's weapon. And that eating sound, what was that? What was that eating sound, guys? I still do not understand what that eating sound was. And we see that, Hajime in the end gives Yu a ring, and next episode's going to be my favorite episode because truly the best girl is going to be showing up. My good old girl, Shia, the rabbit that you saw in the opening of the anime. And the opening actually really grew on me, and I really enjoy the opening now. I just don't like the beginning part. The little part towards the end is pretty good. But overall, what was this episode? What was this? I am so tired of seeing, stuff put in, and especially only thing I'm happy is we have the two, revolvers. I forgot Donner and I forgot the other one. Someone, remind me please in the comment section. But we have that. We have the core stuff, that matters, but it's just the classmate stuff is just really bugging me, and it's just I've let it slide a couple times, like, okay, they're just explaining a couple of things, and I just skip through it because I really don't care. I read the, source material not the source material, the manga and everything. It's just I'm so tired of seeing the classmates. They do not matter, and this anime isn't getting a second season. I'm going to be honest with you guys because from what I've saw from, the Arifureta Discord, the anime's actually hurt the light novel sales, and it's understandable because this anime isn't a very good, thing to show. Oh, you want to read the light novel? This is how it looks. It doesn't. And I'm going to just tell you right here and now, if you really like the concept, pick up the manga first, see if you like the manga, and if you're a reader, pick up the light novel. I'm going to be picking up the light novel myself. It's just, this anime so far, it has a hit or a miss. It's so far, I'd say 3 out of 5 good episodes, decent episodes. I wouldn't call them good, but it's just, it needs to get better. It really does, and I'm hoping when, Shia comes in, everything gets better. I really hope, and, I don't really have that much hope, but I just want to have some hope, right? But anyways, guys, consider subscribing. I'll cover other animes, and, share this video. YouTube is angry at me for not uploading for 4 days. But anyways, guys, this is Austin, and I'm signing out. Peace.